increase everywhere.
Every basic ability, skill, and talent can be developed through hard work, good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action. Hello, Simone.
Another episode that we have here this week. Are you okay?
Yeah, I lost you. You
look like you wanted to say something. Oh, well, welcome. This is the hot seat. We are here to solve problems for business owners, give them some insights. And this week we are talking all about your niche. What does that mean? Why do we need one? How this affects us in business. So I'm looking forward to jumping into this episode with you.
Cool. I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right. Let's jump first straight in and let's talk about this. So my first question that I had for you, Kristian, about niches and the benefits of this in your business is, what even is the purpose? Why do we need to have a niche?
Well, look, Simone, you don't have to. I mean, you can go at it without it and hope. A lot of businesses and business owners go out with a plea of hope, and they think they can be all things to everyone. But having a niche in your business focuses your efforts on a very specific group, and it makes your marketing and product development more targeted, as well as more efficient. It allows you to become an expert in, say, a particular area, which can attract more loyal customers. It can differentiate you from your competitors. It can increase your pricing, or at least your pricing power. Essentially, a niche strategy enhances your ability to address your customer needs, or at least your customer's unique needs, build stronger relationships. It can also help you optimize your resources for a greater return on your investment. So, for example, a company like Warby Parker niched down into affordable, stylish eyeglasses sold directly online, revolutionizing, say, access to eyewear and aligning closely with the lifestyle and values of their target market. So, and there are lots of other really cool examples when you really can narrow down. But what it does, it allows people that are within that market to actually instantly believe that you're the expert. You might actually have no experience at all in that niche. Okay, and we see a lot of that in the coaching world, where you meet people and it's like, so you're coaching allied health practitioners, but you're not an allied health practitioner. Oh no, I'm a marketer. It's like, oh right, okay. So you teach them how to do ads under the disguise of business coaching, and it's really interesting. And this shit works. It really works, and it's frustrating for the real specialists and experts in the market. But that's another really good example. It's like creatives being taught by non-creatives. And there's merit in that. You don't always have to have been successful, but you don't see many football coaches who haven't played football at least before. And so I always kind of say to people, have a look at what people have done, but that's what the power of niching does for your business.
Yeah, okay. I have a side question. So I'm not using up my second question yet, but I think this might be relevant to our audience. I love doing this. Every week I come up with a side question. Can you explain for me, because this is now starting to play in my mind, is a niche and an avatar the same thing or no? Are we talking about different things?
No, the niche is more related to the market, and the avatar is more related to the individual. Okay. That's my interpretation of it. They all become one of the same when you bring them together. But, and remember, niches have verticals and horizontals, right? So, it could be by industry. A niche could be by industry, and it could also be by the amount of money, right? So that you're trying to target someone. Whereas an avatar, you're really putting all of that into a person. So, our avatar is Simone, shift working mum, high side hustle, 3 children and a dog, loves fitness and wants to create or wants to future-proof her family's financial balance, even though say her husband is a primary income earner, but potentially doesn't want to be doing that role for the rest of their lives. So it's kind of, that's how you start to really bring that together. But the niche is that you are a service provider.
Yeah.
Right? Earning less than $5,000 per month because it's a side hustle and you want to give up your corporate job. So do you see how you start to unpack all that, and it gets really kind of funky and cool. And it's hard work. In our customers in demand program, we the first thing you do is you work out your niche. And so many of our members tell us, this is the most thinking I've ever had to do in my business. And I'm just like, oh wow, welcome. It's only module 1. See what else is coming through.
It's quite funny, isn't it? Because we really push them that they have to do the course in order. They're not allowed to skip. And a lot of them are like, I don't want to do this. It's so difficult to dig into this.
Yeah,
so
and they get onto those. They get onto those weekly calls, and they're like, "Oh, this is horrible." And I'm like, "Well, I've been doing it for 25 years, and I'm still doing it, right?"
Yeah.
So I think that there's always this element of being able to perfect it. So there is absolutely a purpose in having a niche in your business.
Okay, let me move into my second question now, and that is, what do I do if I have multiple niches, if I'm servicing different areas? Is that confusing, or is that okay?
Oh, it's confusing, all right. Through lived experience, I know this. So look, focusing on multiple niches can actually be beneficial, especially if they complement each other or cater to similar customer segments, right? So let's take that approach first. However, if you're starting out, before I go into this, if you're starting out, little caveat, stick to one. Do your 5 ones, one niche, one product, one conversion tool, one form of traffic for 1 year. All right? Okay? Really focus on that. When you're more established and you've got multiple niches, then what you need to do is, 1, identify the synergies. Okay? So look for ways the niches can support and enhance one another, right? So this could be through any kind of cross-promotional activity, through some bundled offerings, Simone, or even leveraging insights from one niche to innovate the other, okay? So that's really important. Another step that you need to take is the segmentation of the marketing. So you've got to tailor your marketing strategies to address the specific needs and preferences of each niche. Okay, really, really important. And you've got to use targeted messaging that resonates with the unique characteristics of each group. So realistically, if you're going to have 2 niches, you have double the amount of effort. Okay, and I'd also say, from our own experience, you can only choose one platform. You can't then share content on for one niche on 2 platforms, because you confuse the platforms themselves, okay? And maybe more on that another time. So then what you got to do is you got to actually allocate your resources really wisely, Simone. And I say that because, when you got to ensure that you're allocating all of those resources in a way, right, that each niche gets the attention it needs in order to thrive without compromising the potential of the other, okay? And people do that because, again, they spread themselves so thin, right, that then they're not actually getting the benefit of all of their marketing activity. So then the other thing I'd do is I'd be monitoring performance really closely, right? So you got to keep an eye out on all the performance metrics for each niche, right? And then use the metrics and the feedback in order to understand which areas are actually performing well and which one of those needs adjustment, okay? And then finally, like always, my favorite word and what we teach everyone all the time is you've got to be adaptable, right? So you got to be ready to pivot or make changes based on the market response, right? So flexibility is not just crucial, but fundamental when managing multiple niches, because what it does is it actually allows you to optimize your approach and maximize your overall business performance. Now, I'm going to say that again. It allows you to optimize your approach and maximize the overall business performance. And that is what the job of a business owner is all the time. So by strategically managing multiple niches, Simone, you, our audience, can actually cater to diverse customer needs and also maximize the market presence without diluting the brand's impact. Okay?
Okay. There's a lot to take away in that, and really thinking about how it aligns, I guess, inside of the business. If you're going to work with multiple niches, how does it fit into the overall plan and direction of what you want to do? Because I think we all have this idea that we want to help everyone, right? And this is how it gets to this point that we can serve this person doing this, and we can help out over here, and an opportunity comes there, and let's dive into this. And then before you know it, you're working in all these different niches in all these different areas, and you're like, whoa, what's going on now? Now, where did everyone go? What's happened?
That's right.
All right, I'm moving into my golden third question, which is the one that you always love that I ask.
What am I going to give away today?
How do I work out what my niche is if I have no idea what my actual niche is? I might have done an avatar workshop. I might have done that, but I haven't really worked out the niche. Where do I go? What do I start with?
I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I'm actually not even that tired. I've been reading a lot of documents today. I've got a lot of clients tendering, and so everyone's kind of like, "Hey, Kristian, can we get your very judgmental eyes over things?" And I think I've read too much. So look, to answer your question, what should someone do? Sorry, I'm thinking.
If you don't know what your niche is,
right?
if you don't know what your niche is, maybe you know your avatar, but you actually go, "Oh, I've never really done niche. I've never investigated my niche before. Where am I starting?"
Yeah, look, determining your niche, Simone, involves a combination of market research, self-assessment, and my favorite thing, strategic thinking, right? So because you love this third question always being a total giveaway of my IP, I'm just going to give people 8 clear steps that I use, and you can do this really quickly too. So, the first thing is you've got to start by evaluating what you're passionate about and where your skills lie. And this will actually ensure that you remain motivated and can offer genuine value, right? This is about why the hell are you doing what you're doing, all right? Then you've got to, step number 2, you got to conduct the market research, right? And that's, so you can identify the gaps in the market or even the specific needs that are not being fully met by whatever current offers are in the market. And you can do this by doing focus groups, surveys, as well as just reviewing industry reports. You can even get on the phone and call a whole bunch of your customers that you already have. If you're new, then you can't do that, right? The third thing that you need to then do is you need to look for the common challenges or problems faced by your potential customers, particularly those in your area of interest. And what you need to do is understand these, you need to understand the pain points, right? Because that is crucial for developing a solution that resonates deeply with your target audience, Simone. Okay, so that is that's kind of are really fundamental important. So that, I think, what are we at? Was that the third step, right? So
Yeah.
really understanding and identifying the customer pain points. Now I'm trying to remember all 8 points at the same time in my head. The next thing you really need to do is you need to research your competition. And this is about the only time that I research competition. Is research competition, see what they're offering, but more importantly, what are they not offering? Okay? And this can also help you find a niche that is actually
not being serviced.
Yeah, unresolved, right? And not being serviced.
Yeah.
But also evaluating the competition, look for what they're doing, like especially if they're really successful at what they do, it leaves clues. So I always say this, success and failure leaves clues. And, you know, when you're playing when you're playing small, you'll play small. But when you want to play big, you model the masters. You have a look at who's doing what. Have a look at the data behind their ads, behind their offer, behind their product. And that'll give you some insights into who they're targeting, right? Look at when you click on an ad, how many times that ad gets served to you and who are the other ads that are being served now. That's called retargeting, right? And you'll go, whoa, I'm in the niche for that person, right? So, okay, cool. I want to run my ad. That's a competitor. What is the metric I need to put into Meta or I need to put into Google or YouTube in order to get that, right? So, number 5, I think we're at 5. That's all about demographics, right? So, you really got to detail your potential customers. That's their age, their gender, their income level, their education, you know, their interests, because this actually helps in creating that clear picture of who you are serving, right? So this is where
That's
we start
like the avatar work,
the
right?
avatar, right?
Yeah,
but then there's also the psychographics, right? So when you go beyond demographics, understanding the lifestyle, the values, the interests of the potential customer. This is the avatar, right? This is deeper insight that will aid in tailoring your offers as well as the marketing messages, right? And this is really important. And look, every time we release a new product, we go through this and we don't get it right the first time. I don't think I've ever got it right the first time. In fact, I normally get it right about the 4th or 5th time. And by that stage, you've sunk thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And if you're not testing and measuring and becoming adaptable, you'll actually blow 20, 30,000 because you keep doing something and persisting with it, right? And you know, sorry, I got distracted. Belinda's on, and she's like, I caught you both live again. Yes, our friendly resident spider, right? Hi, Belinda. How are you? One of our wonderful.
I think that's...
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say this is a really interesting point because we talk quite often about how when you're new into business, how you don't even get off the ground and you run out of cash. And that's just come to mind of like, this is exactly what you're talking about, right? Just not having that niche really nailed to know this is where I need to go and this is how I need to get that traction.
And you make a really good point. You know, so many people, as you know, I've the last 2-3 weeks have been getting my hands dirty back into the selling by direct message myself and really getting in there and having conversations with people. And, you know, it's really interesting. You know, our LinkedIn or my LinkedIn, which, you know, has some 40,000 people following me, which is great. It's a wonderful vanity metrics, is actually super targeted audience for the strategy work that I do, you know, working with, you know, $2 million plus companies. But a lot of the work that we are investing into now because of my passion is helping, you know, people like Belinda, you know, who had really good corporate careers, who then wanted to step out on their own, but were uncertain. And they needed that certainty. So, you know, we built customers on demand for them. And then, you know, when we worked out that people that are always going to be really good accelerate much faster, then what you do is you build another program. And we have, you know, the Growth Academy or our Growth School, which is part of Evolve, and you've just heard it here first. You know, we're renaming what we're doing at the moment because we've evolved significantly. And, you know, and so you too many people, though, start a business, choose the wrong advisor, choose the wrong program, and that's okay. right?
But you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, but don't run out of cash, right? So if you find that something isn't working, opt into programs that offer a money-back guarantee. Like we offer a 2-week money-back guarantee. You come in, you don't love it, leave, and I'll give you back the money. I don't want you in there if you're not making it work, because a lot of the time when you can't make it work, 50% is you, the other 50% is you're not following the system. And that goes even for our competitors, right? They, I believe that a lot of them teach really good stuff, but if they don't connect with you and they don't put the effort, because you might be just a number, right? I would never be doing any kind of hero program, like a program without one-on-one, without the group support at least, because you can't ask questions. So if you're paying $1,000 or $2,000 for a course and it doesn't have at least the person that built the course inside answering some of your deep questions, then what are you paying for? And if you think that you're going to get value out of a $300 course, then you're kidding yourself, right? That's a hook to get you into the next one, right? So again, you've been caught in that niche trap. But what I want to actually say is that there's 2 more points that I want to make. So what you've got to do is, before you fully commit to that niche, you've got to test your product and your service to a small segment of your market, right? Because that feedback is going to be invaluable. And we actually help our clients develop an MVP, a minimum viable product to go to market. Now, what is Belinda saying? It was so important for me to really drill down on who I want to serve. Correct. And it has been transformational. And thanks to both of you. You're too kind, Belinda. You're too kind. And, you chose a way, and I chose way too many advisors that didn't resonate until I found COD. And Belinda, you are actually, a wonderful a member of the community, and because you put in the work, right? You even though you had a full-time career, you knew where you wanted to go. You came in, you got the motivation, but you got the expertise, and you did the work, and you asked the questions, and you got on those calls, and those calls, I'm assuming, for you were invaluable. And so thank you for sharing that. So and it's perfect timing for the conversation we have. But by the way, Belinda pays us. We don't pay Belinda. So in case anyone is wondering, right, so this is and this is about creating raving fans in your business, right? We go that extra mile because we want to get an outcome for people. And Belinda will tell you that, I will jump on extra calls with people. People will say to me, it's funny how you don't have any time. I said, I have no time for prospects, but I have lots of time for my customers because, as you know, Simone, I've been very frustrated the last 4 or 5 weeks, especially when I went on holiday to Europe for 4 weeks with my family, because I have built the business everybody bloody wants. I've built the business that has all the freedom, the flexibility. I can go to work for 3 hours a week if I want to. It doesn't change my income, right? And yet that pisses me off because I have been conditioned my whole life to be a worker. Right. And so, I'm trying to take up golf. I'm trying to go to lunches. I put on 6 kilos going to lunches. This is ridiculous. So it's just all of this stuff. So we're all in a very different place. And I love that. Just a raving fan. She's just written, I'm going to have to give you a like and I'm going to broadcast that. Right. Just part of our.
We just actually can't wait to get into Brisbane next week and meet everyone. This will be the first time we've actually met Belinda in person next weekend. So it's so crazy, awesome, right? To have clients all over the country.
Belinda has been a client of ours for 12 months in COD. She took the long road. Then she's upgraded into Evolve and has been in that program for 3 months. She does her first strategy game planning intensive, which it's going to blow her mind. I think she's going to be amazing. We haven't met face to face. It's insane the way the world has grown and become. And so, but this is all about this journey. We want our customers to create transformational, life-changing businesses. That's what I did. But along the way, I also failed and transform my life in different ways, right? So, for me, realistically, it's to be able to help people like Belinda and the rest of our COD community selfishly, because I want them to come up and spend more money, right? But while they're spending more money, I want to make them more money so they're not actually spending the money. You know, like within a very short period of time, we're a cost neutral business or a cost neutral advisory for people. And, you know, people will say, Kristian, why do you have such a high retention rate? Well, we target the right people. It's the niche, right? And this brings me to point number 8, if anyone's keeping notes. You know, this is where you've got to refine and focus, right? So you got to use the feedback. You got to use the data that you've gathered. You got to refine your approach. Then you got to narrow down to the most viable option that aligns with your strengths and your market needs, right? So this is all about being systematic and evaluating each of these elements, right? So that you're able to identify the niche and that not only fulfills a market need, but also aligns with you and your personal interests and strengths, because that sets the stage, Simone, for a passionate and profitable entrepreneurship or entrepreneurial journey. Okay. So I think that that's super, super important. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that, that, you know, you have the power, right? You have the power to choose what you want to do. And I think ultimately, I'm always encouraging, you know, we get lots of people that come into COD and they're set and they say to me, that's it. I've got what I need. I know my market. And I just look at them after 2 months. I'm like, why don't you go back to module number 2? And then I'll jump on a call and I'll say, listen, I'm going to give you 10 minutes of my time. Let's just, and you know that I love doing that, you know, solving someone's most complex problem in 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, they're going in a totally different direction. And 6 months later, they're making $500,000. And they're just like, oh my God. I'm like, yep. And, you know, all those other people before you, like Belinda said, you know, she went down the road of lots of coaches. Sometimes you have to go down that journey, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you have to go down that journey until you find that needle in a haystack. You know, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, 100%. You know, and if you don't get to know me, then you won't want to work with me, right? And I, you know, and that's something we've been working on, is like how to make Kristian more approachable, because he's not really a dick all the time. But the reality of it is, you know, I will care about people's business more than anybody else, because I know what it feels like to lose it all, and not just lose it all, you know, once, lose it all catastrophically, where most people don't recover. You know, I know a lot. I don't know what the exact statistics are, but you know, when you lose $30 million and you become homeless, you don't really have the energy to bounce back, you know? And I think the reality of it is, when you've been at that loss and you have to work really hard to get it back, that is a very hard slog. You know, it's much easier to start from scratch than to start from behind. And that's been a really big journey. But again, you know, and sometimes, you know, my heart says to me, why don't I go and help those people that have failed and turn them into success stories? Well, hiring the wrong coach, going down the wrong niche, that's failure, right? And so we do help those people. It's just we don't promote that. And maybe we should, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe we should. It's like, oh, there is a uniformed man coming to arrest you. Hey, Gav. So that's all right. He's not. It's the husband. He's not there to arrest her.
I'm not being arrested. No.
That would have been. Oh my! That would be brilliant if Gav had come in with handcuffs, gun pointing at you. This is like, you work for Livolsi. You're under arrest. That would make a great hook for the hot seat. Simone, always wonderful to talk to you. Hopefully we
definitely digressed a little bit there today, but thank you for those who stuck in there with us.
I think we digressed, but I think it's a little bit of fun to move around a little bit at the end of these. And I like, look at that, Belinda's written there, you know, module 2, oh, that hard work. And, you know, if Amanda was here, I'm surprised she's not, Amanda would be writing, yep, I've done module 2 5 times, right? And again, a lot of this stuff is a formula, right? A formula that I've learnt over all of the years. You know, every venture I've gone, oh my gosh. And you know, the one thing I always have to come back to is the avatar and niche stuff. Because when you get it right, it changes everything. Right? And so, you know, here I am praying that we get it right again. Right? So, and as I said, guys, you're not always going to get it right. So hopefully that was really helpful to everyone. And yes, I cannot wait to be in Brisbane next week. That is, I've missed everyone. I can't believe it. every 90 days we catch up with all the clients in a state, and it is. I just know the energy is building. I know everyone's like, yeah, it's game on, and even though everyone thinks that we go to play, we actually work for 24 hours pretty much in 2 days, and everyone's like, and people are like, and people love that. It's like, yeah, because you get outcomes. Right? And that's what it's about. You get outcomes, you build your game plan for the next 90 days, and then you have Simone and me and Bonnie and everybody else in the company annoying the crap out of you for the next 90 days in order for you to get to that next level, right? So 100% Belinda, and yes, we are excited to see you. So
absolutely. I hope it is warmer weather than what has been happening in Sydney and Brisbane, in Adelaide, because it's getting quite cool here. So bring on some sunshine, some hard work, and definitely some celebratory drinks once we are finished. So Kristian Livolsi, thank you very much for your time and your insights as always. This has been the Hot Seat, and we'd love to hear from you. If you would like us to talk about something specifically, if you have a topic that you would like me to dig into with Kristian, please hit me up in the DMs, get in touch with me. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Signing out. I'm trying to find the button.
Working with Kristian is a game changer. Hi, I'm Adrian Lee from GrowthLink Coaching and Consulting. I started working with Kristian in August 2020 as his LinkedIn growth consultant. We worked together on his LinkedIn brand for about 12 months before becoming business partners in Growth Outsourced late 2021. Kristian is a hidden genius. He helped me break through a significant financial target by restructuring my growth consulting online business offer. I don't know of any one person who can give you so much focus, clarity, and structure to live your purpose and get shit done. He holds you accountable to your words and gives you the tough love when you need it. I love his no BS approach to business and life. Everyone needs a Kristian Livolsi in their life. Do whatever you have to work with Kristian. This is just the beginning for us, and I am super pumped to continue growing together. Thanks again, Kristian.
Are you ready to start taking action on your business? Would you like to spend more time with your family? Then call 1300-643-229 and start building momentum right now. I know you're busy. In fact, you are so busy that you don't have time to work on your business or yourself. Often tossing and turning at night, worrying about the how-tos and the cash flow. How on earth can you possibly get off the hamster wheel so that you can take a helicopter view to see where you'll be in 90 days, 1 year, or 3 years from now? In this program, I will take you from sleepless nights to blissful sleep. You'll have more time with your family, and you will have the clarity and direction so you can grow and flourish. Call 1300-643-229 now and start building momentum.